Hey guys, subscribe for daily content, and if you're shopping for gear, make sure you check out the description for the newest items at some of the very best online retailers. There's also links for some of the items that I personally recommend. Thanks!
What's going on YouTube? Metal Complex here, and today I've got a real short knife review / knife overview to share with you guys. This is the Sencut Ingot. It is an aluminum and D2 button lock, and there are lots of these things all over the place. There's tons of companies out there creating these types of knives, same materials, in about the same, at the same price point. What they're not doing, my honest opinion, what they're not doing is executing them to the same, quality levels as Sencut, Civivi. Sencut here, very recently, still do this. Their knives are like G10 and 9CR 18MOV, and some varying shape of knife that has been done a million times. And that's, they make simple knives, simple, they do everything simple, keep the price down. And where they have always excelled is their factory edge, which is incredible, and their cutting geometry. Even when they're not heat treating the steel absolutely optimally, their cutting geometry and factory edge is so good, right? Recently, they've done some of these knives in anodized aluminum and D2, and they just feel superior. So not only do we have, in my opinion, a better steel. I know that 9CR is stainless and D2 isn't, but D2 is fair, close to stainless. And even with this not quite optimal HRC, which we'll talk about, it's still really good. The factory edge on these things is crazy. And the geometry is good. And the addition of the aluminum here, it makes it feel like a knife that would cost a lot more. So as far as your aluminum and insert budget steel budget knives go, these Sencuts that they've released here recently, if not this one, then look at any of the ones that they have. They really feel quite a bit better than a lot. I mean, like, in some circumstances, I think companies like Miguron can keep up, but not a lot of others. A lot of the random, like the brands that come and go, like there's a new brand that's called, Yada Wada Eagle Skull 9000 on Amazon. And they have the knife called the Banana Ripper 2. And it's like, wow. And then they're gone. There's a lot of reasons that you see that, right? But a lot of those companies are making like kind of okay knives. They're not really, and a lot of the people buying them are not really comparing them with some of the better, higher quality competitors. And Civivi and Sencut, they represent that. They're not perfect, and we'll talk about it, but I just wanted to share this with you guys because I haven't been motivated to show a lot of budget stuff because it's all, kind of like exactly the same. And only a few things stand out to me here or there. So this one did. I'll link it down in the description. You guys can check it out if you want to. It does help my channel when you use those links, but that's up to you. Let's go ahead and measure this guy. Overall length here coming in at 7.5 inches with a blade length of 3 1/4 and a cutting edge of 3. Let's go ahead and do some size comparisons. There he is. I've been missing this guy. Any custom scales you find in this section can be found down in the description under Original Goat and others. Up against my full-size Excalibur and the compact Excalibur. Compact Excalibur is about exactly the same overall length. It's just a little taller and definitely more bulky. Let's put it up against the Spyderco PM2 and the Spyderco Para 3. Again, almost the same size as the Para 3. It's a little longer, definitely a little smaller than the Spyderco PM2, lots more than the PM2. And then finally, we'll put it up against the Benchmade Griptilian, or in this case, the Ritter Hogue. Is that one on vacation now? No, here he is right here. I was going to say, I didn't approve any vacation time for that guy. And then, I don't know where I guess the deck is out sick today, so we're going to put it up against the Bug Out. Very similar, in terms of like height and length there. But I would say that this guy in a lot of ways is a little bit more compact. Might not be as thin. How's the action? Well, Sencut and Civivi make, in my opinion, the very best button locks on the market. They seem to be far more reliable and far more consistent. Button locks or plunge locks by nature are not the strongest locking systems, and many of them they're just inherently weak. However, standing atop the mountain of reliability in the button lock territory, Sencut and Civivi, absolutely. Their plunge locks are really good. I honestly don't expect any plunge lock to survive. That's me like going backwards and forwards and getting a whole thing out to the tip. I don't expect any knife to really survive like that if it's got a plunge lock. But these do. They're really good. So yeah, and they also make for great detents. Even though traditionally the plunge lock acting as the detent usually feels gross. It feels like pulling like if you pulled a Pringles can out of the lake and it was full of water, but the Pringles were still in it, and you somehow got your whole fist in there and you got a fistful of wet, soggy Pringles, and you pulled them out, right? That's what it feels like to break the detent of a plunge lock most of the time. Not these. Not these. Everybody's imagining that. You're thinking every bit of that, the imagery, the sound, the feel. I got all of those senses going, didn't I? Every single one of you. Yeah, it got me too. I started thinking about it just now, and it totally broke my train of thought. Pretty gross, but that's what it feels like. That's what it feels like. I don't like it. This feels a lot closer to an actual detent ball, and I appreciate that. It also has nice thumb studs that are domed at the top, not flat. They're domed. Look at that. Beautiful. Love it. Very good. Flipper tab, good. You want to light switch it? You want to push button it. It works because it's a nice detent. Carry profile thickness up against the Spyderco Para 3. There it is. Spyderco Para 3 thickness. They're about the same. Almost exactly the same. Length and height up against the PM2 and Para 3. This is a stupidly comfortable knife to carry. It's very compact, very lightweight. What are we looking at for materials? We're looking at D2. How does Civivi and Sencut heat treat their D2? Sometimes it lists as 59 to 61, and sometimes it lists as 58 to 60. Obviously, I'd rather have it be 59 to 61. A lot of times when, Taylor does the test for M390 or 20CV for WE Knives, which is the parent company, when he tests that, and by the way, you can see his test results and the link at the bottom of my description, Steel Hardness Lab. You find out that even though their range is 59 to 61 on the uncoated stuff, oftentimes they are hitting the upper end of that. So I have to assume it might be the same for D2 as well. I don't like it when they list their D2 at 58 to 60. I don't care if it's coated, right? In my opinion, D2 has the same optimal range as M390. It should be 60 plus. It absolutely can achieve 61, 62, 63. Miguron is proving that right now, and they have been tested, and it's been proven that they are hitting this mark. So I would like to see Sencut and Civivi hit this too. I think that would make it a lot better, but I'm not going to sit here and say that 59 to 61 is the worst thing in the world, because it's not, right? At this price point, it's all right. There are companies who are doing it better, and they're doing it better for less. So anyways, D2 and aluminum with some steel components. What in the blue blazes? There we go. No. 0. What is happening? Do we need new batteries? Everybody's calling in sick today. All my employees. 2.8 ounces. That's ultra lightweight by this channel's standard. 2.8 ounces for, what did we measure that at? 3¼ inches of blade. Yeah, it's pretty darn good. Hardware check. I'll get out my tools as per usual. My tools are very inexpensive and very recommendable. You can find them right down in the section of my description that talks about the tools I use in this channel. T8. T8 everywhere except for the pocket clip screws, which are T6. And by the way, the pocket clip can be mounted for left-handed carry. This is very good. As long as you have the right tools for the job, you should be good to go. The last thing we need to do is measure the blade stock thickness, which I'm going to guess is going to come in right around 115 or so thousandths. Maybe less, maybe 105. Oh my God, I'm so good. I'm a freaking wizard. 115 thousandths. All right, meat and potatoes time. We've seen a million button locks that look very similar to this, right? And admittedly, in Sencut's line right now, you can find a million more. There's a lot of them. This aluminum and D2 thing that they're doing, in my opinion, is just, it feels like they're hitting that value mark a lot better than their G10 and 9CR combos that they were selling for 40 to 50 bucks. I mean, I would prefer this. As soon as Sencut starts adding a little bit of texture to their aluminum, like then we're really cooking, because anodized aluminum looks and feels so much better. And hey, you know what? If you don't like aluminum, I get it's a little subjective. Then at least combine your D2 with your G10. I say offer the 9CR and D2 stuff alongside each other and give people options for micarta, G10, and aluminum, right? Because in some situations, one material is a little better than the other, and people have preferences. But me personally, I think this D2 and aluminum is probably the best combination. Ergonomically, super comfortable. Nearly radiused edges, Very, very nice. And that flipper tab's not too bothersome. Pocket clip is an overly long Loch Ness Monster clip. They need to shorten this and kill the bill so that we are not experiencing that little bit of lump in the middle of our hands, but no big deal. As per usual, cutting geometry and factory edge on this is screaming. It's just really, really good. These things cut so well. It's absolutely an enjoyable experience to cut with a Civivi or a Sencut. Just says Sencut here, and then on the other side it says in the microscopic print D2 there. Plain satin finish, doesn't need to be anything special there. The tip probably is a little bit more out at the tip, a little more material than you might have guessed, but this is still not something that I'm going to call a tough blade. Combination of D2, fairly thin geometry, and a plunge lock. Not a hard use knife. This is a basic light to medium duty EDC knife. If you use it for that and not a hammer, pry bar, or screwdriver, it will probably last a long time. If you use it as a hammer, pry bar, or screwdriver, it will break. Anyways, there's not really a ton going on here. It's, again, I mean, like, it would be really cool to see like a texture pattern on some of these. I couldn't imagine that it would be that much more expensive. Couple of standoffs here, and then you have a lanyard bar. If you want to attach a lanyard there, you can also attach it to the pocket clip. Pocket clip, like I said, is mountable for left-handed carry. We have a stop pin located in its traditional position, and for the closed position, the flipper tab wraps around the pin that connects the button to the cylinder that is actually the plunge lock, which is interesting, but it does keep the stop away from the plunge grind, which can be a problem after you sharpen it a whole bunch over a long period of time, but that's not the case here. I'll let you guys take a look at that plunge grind. There is no blade play up, down, left, or right. There is no lock stick on this one. That's pretty cool, considering it's a plunge lock. No pivot lash. Very smooth and consistent in here. Man, Sencut and Civivi really doing the best when it comes to pivot action. You know, even my Guron, every now and then I feel a little lump or bump in there with their bearings. Not usually Sencut and Civivi. They do such a good job. The detent, really nice. Got caught on my finger there, but really nice. Hold on to the knife, idiot. Looks like we've got perfect centering with no detent lash. 45 bucks. Is this a knife you should kick down doors for? No. Is it a knife I'd recommend to somebody who's on a budget or maybe newer to knives? Absolutely. Absolutely. Very easy pocket knife to feel good about purchasing. Not expensive. I think it's got good, I mean, like the quality, the execution of the materials is very good. I just really wish that Sencut would bump their HRC. And, you know, if they would take a note, because Miguron, I think, sold 10 times more of their recent, aluminum MD2 knife that came in at $37, and they were pushing the HRC from lower to 61 to 63 or 62 to 63. The amount of community celebration over that knife was tremendous. So I think that Sencut, Civivi, they should take a note, as well as all other companies, because this is clearly the knife community is aware that the prices can be lower and that the HRC can be higher. It doesn't need to be 62 or 63, but 60 plus, yes. Should D2 be in the 50s? No, there are plenty of steels that can be in the 50s and be fine. D2, in my opinion, should not be. D2 is a steel that can really benefit from going 60 or higher. So I think that that would be really cool. Sencut has the tools to do it. They have the ability to do it. But even as this knife sits, I think it's a pretty good deal. So that's going to be it from me today, guys. Please make sure to follow me on Instagram at metal_complex. If you enjoyed this video, leave a like. If you'd like to check out my other content, I do, of course, have lots of videos of knives that are either expensive or inexpensive that I do or don't like. So check those out. And if you enjoy all my content, go ahead and click on that Metal Complex logo right there and subscribe, because there's definitely more coming. Thanks again for watching, everybody, and have a great day.